Guys, comedian Damon Wayans recently spoke to TMZ, and by speaking to TMZ, we mean they probably ran up on him at an airport, tackled him, and shoved a mic down his throat. But anyway, Damon Wayans has some words to say about fellow comedian Dave Chappelle. Now, you guys might know Dave Chappelle is under fire for his latest Netflix special, The Closer. I love that saying, under fire. Head for the chopper. He's under fire. And Damon Wayans has something to say about it. And it's on Yahoo.com. And we're going to talk about it, guys. This is the gospel according to Mark with a C. He is I and I am he. Just taking some time to tell you exactly what's on my mind. Thank you for joining me once again, my friends. And yes, Damon Wayans, guys, you might remember him from back in the day. He was on In Living Color with his brothers, Keenan Ivory Wayans, Sean Wayans, Marlon Wayans, Kim Wayans, Tito Wayans, Jermaine Wayans, Jackie Wayans. There's a fucking lot of them. But anyway, he was on that show and he brought you a lot of politically incorrect characters such as Handyman, that was a handicapped superhero who had like cerebral palsy or something like that. He played the head detective, where he was just like a head. He played Men on Films, which was like two flamboyantly gay dudes who were reviewing movies and stuff like that. So he knows something about the days when you used to be able to just do comedy for comedy's sake. A lot of those caricatures you couldn't do today. Okay, so it's interesting what he makes of all of this. So let me get into what he had to say. All right, now this is comedian Damon Wayans. By the way, he also starred in, I think it was My Wife and Kids. I want to, give the dude credit for, what he did. So anyway, Damon Wayans says Dave Chappelle's Netflix special freed comedian slaves. Now, this is interesting, guys, and it's very important because this is an indication of where we are today. All right. And what we all have to consider going forward, like what kind of world we want to live in, like what we want it to be like when we go on social media and shit like that. People trying to shut you down, trying to thought control us and stuff. So this is interesting. This is why I'm talking about it. And Dave Chappelle says, comedian Damon Wayans, I should say, told TMZ that the latest Dave Chappelle Netflix special, The Closer, freed the slaves. The comedians were slaves to PC culture, Wayans opined in an impromptu interview. I told you they ran up on him. When asked about his longtime friend's controversial stand-up offering, he says he's an artist. He's Van Gogh with his ear off. He's trying to tell us it's okay. Wayans said, I've always been free, but he felt that Chappelle was saying all that I have. I'm not afraid to lose it for the sake of freedom of speech. You can't edit yourself, said Wayans. Comedians, we're like, Mercedes makes a great car, but they gotta crash a lot of them before they perfect it. Asked about the backlash The Closer has received, the comedy special features several minutes of jokes about transgender people. He responded, I can't speak about the content of the show, but what I say is there's a bigger conversation we need to have. Someone needs to look us in the eye and say, you're no longer free in this country. You're not free to say what you want. You say what we want you to say. Otherwise, we will cancel you. That's the discussion we need to have. Chappelle said Wayans is a unicorn and amazing. All right, so there you have it, guys. This is what Damon Wayans is talking about. And I agree with that. It's like we have to, at some point, come to grips with, like, the reality. Are we free or are we not free? Freedom of speech is a thing. And even more so, freedom of thought, which should actually precede freedom of speech, because you should actually think about the things that you say, is something that I believe is worth fighting for. It's something that's worth dying for. And I think you guys can tell by now, that's my approach whenever I'm doing these videos. I like to speak my mind. I like to speak, what I feel. I told you guys, how I feel about the words that I produce. They're limited in life, okay? From the moment you're born, the counter is running. Every word you say has to be significant or at least deliberate. You can't always be like sorry for what you say. You can't have people making you sorry for what you say. So I thought that it was very interesting what Damon is saying here because, like I said, it's not just comedians who are under fire, from cancel culture. This has bled over into social media, into the videos that we do. I have people come into the comment section and they want to shut me up. They want to cheer about the fact that there's a clampdown videos on YouTube and on Facebook and shit like that. But guys, is this the world that we want to live in is the question. You know this is not going to get any better. Act like you know something about human nature. When you give humans unlimited power over other humans, they are not going to relinquish that power. It's only going to get worse with each passing generation. So if we care about our children, we care about our children's children and our children's children's children, then we have to make a stand right here. Okay, and that's what I've been talking about on my videos. It's very important, guys. We can't let this get past us. We have to be the ones. We have to be the ones to take all of the heat, all of the smoke, all of the fire, whatever there is, because this is what we value, in the world. We value our God-given right, our right when we were born. If you want to take God out of the equation, even though that fucking shit is how we got into this shit in the first place, by taking God out, it doesn't matter what you believe in personally, all right? But I believe there has to be some sense of authority that goes beyond man in this world, because man is just going to fuck it up every single time. And by man, I mean mankind, all right? So anyway, guys, I got all these pop-ups coming up and shit. But anyway, that's what Damon Wayans has to say about this, guys. Like, I feel that it's great that he's saying this. I think more people need to say this because, guys, the ignorant, the mindless drones have been exploited long enough. If you look on Twitter and you see all of the comment sections of people who are cheering for the demise of Dave Chappelle, who didn't even watch the fucking series or the special. I mean, if you did watch it, then how can you come to the conclusion that he is an advocate for violence against trans people? You obviously didn't watch it. You obviously didn't listen to him. You obviously didn't listen to what Gina Carano was saying. You obviously didn't listen to Letitia Wright. You obviously didn't listen to Nicki Minaj. But anybody who goes against what your government authority is telling you somehow manages to find themselves being an enemy of the people. You need to really think about that, guys. We have to counter these people who are trying to take away our rights to say what we want to say and to think what we want to think and to live the way that we want to live. All right? We got to do it, guys. We got to do it for ourselves and we got to do it for the kids. But anyway, guys, what do you think about what Damon Wayans had to say? What do you think about Dave Chappelle? What do you think about all of this shit that's going on? I think cancel culture needs to be canceled. I think that it's run its course and it's really, really getting dangerous right now, guys. But sound off in the comment section, guys. Thank you for listening. As always, you can like, you can share, you can subscribe, you can catch me on Twitter. If not, I will catch you on the next one. This is The Gospel According to Mark with a C. Rock on.